Howdy and welcome back to the Bender Bunker and Hump Day Twang lick number 9, which gets us into the month of March 2018. And I say good riddance to February. A little Bender Bunker trivia for you. February is our least favorite month of the year here in the bunker. The weather's not so nice, not a lot of reason to go outside. It's gloomy, cold, football ended, stock market got weird. Good riddance to February. Happy to be in March, getting into springtime. And what you heard there was a jaunty little 3-chord wonder. 3 chords in the truth, of course. Anytime you have 3 chords, you better have the truth along with it. And that's in G. We're going to be working in G in the month of March. We've done A, we've done E, figured G had to be next. And so we're going to get into what you just heard, some behind the nut, and get things started off with maximum twang, of course. Before we do, just so I want to say a shout out. YouTube tells me that 10% of the viewing audience now is located outside of the United States for these Hump Day Twang licks. That's primarily the United Kingdom and Canada. So a Bender Bunker howdy to viewers outside of the US, and thank you for watching. So again, I'm going to fire up the loop that you're going to be hearing this month for the month of March. Again, it's just kind of a G, F, and C. Very typical kind of twangy country thing to play over. I'll play the lick one more time and you can decide if you want in on it. All right, fire it up, boys. Let's do March. So there you have it. If you're ready to get on that twang adventure, go grab your guitar and let's get to it. All right, let's get rolling with Hump Day Twang lick number 9. And out of the gates, we're not going to really concern ourselves with the behind the net part. We'll get back to that more towards the end of the lesson. Let's just worry about the main riff for now, which is basically this. And it's a fun riff, not too hard. We're going to start on the D string. We're going to hit the D string open, and then we're going to roll into it on the 2nd and 3rd fret. So, and then the open G string. So that's the first part. So I'm just hitting the D string once. I'm fingering the 2nd and 3rd frets. That's how we're getting that noise, and then we're picking the open G string. Now, once we get to the 3rd fret on the D string, we're going to go ahead and anchor it there for a little bit with our middle finger. Just keep it there. And then we go back to it after we hit that open G. From there we go with our index finger, G string 2nd, G string open, still anchored 3rd fret, and then back to the open G. Now once you get it, of course, as always, is what you do with your pick hand. It's going to make it percussive, and that's up to your discretion. But the actual run itself, and then we go over here to the B string, 3rd fret. We're going to put our ring finger there, and then we're going to hit the G string 2nd fret with our index finger, give it a little bend, and then G string open. That's the first part of the riff. The next part of the riff is... So we start the same way. We hit our open D string and roll into it. And then we hit the G string open. So, open G. And then we pick our way down on the D string. And then open D. And then we go A string, we pick the 1st and roll it or slide into the 2nd. And we end up on the low E 3rd fret, which of course is our anchor G note. So all together, kind of slow. that's the riff. So now we're going to try and put the behind the nut bend into it, and that's working off the B string in the open G string. So again, I use my index finger, I slide it onto the G string. You're hitting your B string open first, and then you're hitting your G string after that and giving it a quick. What I recommend is don't worry about what you saw me do in the opening with the harmonics, get to that later. Just get comfortable with So if we break that riff in half, the first part being, then the second half being, what separates those two halves is the open B and the G string with the behind the nut twice. So that's it. I'll kind of play it a little bit up to speed so you can get a little bit of the context. Now, what you saw me do in the opening, same exact rhythm, except instead of just hitting the open B and G string, I'm up here on the 5th fret, and I'm actually hitting the B and the G string harmonics here. So maybe practice just hitting the harmonics before you worry about bending them behind the nut. So I'll go. I was also doing it here on the exact same thing, harmonics on the 12th fret, B and G string. Alright, now that you have that, we can throw the nut bend in. So you'd go. So there you have it. I'm going to turn on the loop pedal so it can have a little bit more context. Here we go. So there you have it, Hump Day, Twang lick number 9. Your choice if you want to do the behind the nut stuff. It's still kind of fun, even with just the open strings, to do the old. That's kind of fun too. But the riff is kind of, we're going to be doing a lot in these open strings. You know, G is very forgiving with the. It's very bluegrassy, kind of those open string runs you can do in that quadrant of the neck. And you're going to be seeing a lot more of that in March here as we work in the key of G. So there we have it. We got the springtime edition of Hump Day Twang Lick started in style. Hope you enjoyed that as always. If you have other guitar players that might enjoy that kind of lesson, go ahead and share it with them. If you liked it, maybe click the thumbs up, leave a comment. Always good to hear from the crowd. And as always, it is never too late to go on a bender here in the Bender Bunker, and would definitely appreciate you watching. See you next Hump Day.